Hi guys, Vinney Chopra back again. I hope you're liking the content. Oh my gosh, every week you are seeing everyday postings on our podcast now. My team is putting out, then of course in TikTok and Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook pages, you name it. And all these places. I do want to talk today about senior assisted living. Actually, senior living is a big topic. That's what we're going to talk about. And I've got a great guest today right here with me. She's amazing. Isabelle Guarino Smith is here in the house, and we're going to talk really great things about senior living, actually, senior assisted memory care and all that. Hi, Isabelle. How are you?
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. I would like to formally introduce you. Isabelle Guarino, Smith is the COO of Residential Assisted Living Academy and Residential Assisted Living Academy in America, premier training organization. And in this unique and specialized niche, opportunities are immense. I mean, we're going to talk so much about it, and then she's a graduate from Arizona State University, a former flight attendant and a Walt Disney World intern, and now Residential Assisted Living Academy lead lady. I like that, and she's been working as a CEO for the company for the last 6 years, keeping everybody in line and task. I like that. And she's been featured in so many magazines and articles in the topics of senior housing, and most recently was given the title as one of the top influencers in senior housing. I'm so glad to have her on my show. Isabelle, again, thank you so much for coming on the show, and let's talk business. Yeah. And before I go further, my heartfelt condolences on your dad's passing away. Yeah. And I knew him a little bit. I talked to him about 2-3 times, just a wonderful person, human being, he was. Yeah. So tell me more. So did you grow up in Arizona then? Is that right? Tell us about how did you get into this whole, who is Isabelle?
Well, I was actually born in upstate New York. Both of my parents are from there, and they both have 6 siblings each. So a big family from upstate New York, which is amazing. But we moved to Arizona when I was quite young. And really, my dad had always been a real estate investor my whole life. So I was blessed to get to grow up with an entrepreneurial dad in the household. Sure. Really showing me the ropes and encouraging me that you don't have to work a 9-to-5 and you don't have to do right everything that they tell you to do. And there's other ways to cash flow and make money. So I was very blessed growing up in that household. And later in his life, my grandmother got sick and she needed assisted living, and we really didn't know what to do. So we were searching for a place for her and couldn't find anything that we liked. Wow. So, him being the investor he was like, wait, I'm going to be paying $5,000 a month for her to live in this home, or I could own it. She could live for free and I could cash flow $10,000-$15,000 a month. He's like, this makes sense. So jumped right in, bought his first one. And I really started just 8 years ago being like, hey, what are you doing? I want to learn more. Teach me everything, and kind of pushing my way in the door with him. And it was a fabulous, 7 years working side by side with him. And now I've really taken everything and kind of just moving it forward and being able to, partner up with incredible people like you who are also in this space, who are doing big things. You know how much need we have in this industry. So it's so important. And I'm so grateful to be here today.
Oh, thank you, Isabelle. And today only I posted, actually, we went to a wedding yesterday. My daughter was there. She lives in the city, San Francisco. We live outside the city, about 30 miles away. Our son Neil lives nearby too. And yesterday somebody took a picture, me and Monica, my daughter, on like a, swing. kind of thing. And I just posted today thanking her because she joined our business also 7 years back. It's so ironical, and she's just a wonderful human being, like I'm sure you are, taking the legacy of your dad ahead, So, no, this is great. You're so right. I mean, senior living for the next 30, 40 years is going to be humongous because 10,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every midnight, every day. So, and then I think 4,000 are in the 75 range. And then maybe 3,200 is another statistic who are in the 80. And as you know, as we grow younger, I never say older. As we grow younger, we will need some assistance. If we have a slip and a fall, or if the a better half, passes away, then the life goes downhill and we can't cook or something and all that. So share with me now. I know people say residential, senior living, and commercial.
Yeah.
I know we've been building 88 to 94 units, like I mentioned to you. So please tell us about the residential side. Yeah.
So it's a little bit different than the commercial facilities that I know you are working on with your syndications. What we do is residential assisted living. So it's a single family home, a pretty big one, not a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but maybe 6, 8, or 10 bedrooms, right? Maybe it didn't start that way, but you buy a single family home and convert it to become that way. Giving most seniors their own private bedrooms and private bathrooms, but it's not home-like, it's an actual home, right? Next door is mom, dad, 2 kids, and a dog. And instead of that's who's living in the home, these seniors are still getting 24/7 care, medication management, 3 meals a day, all of the activities and the camaraderie that they so need in their, final years of life, but it's just in a home instead of a big facility. So for certain seniors who aren't able to go to the dance hall and use the pickleball court and the spa and the pool and all the really fun amenities that you can have in some of these commercial facilities, if they don't need that or can't use that, sometimes the smaller home-like environments are a better fit for them. It's really just options, having different options for whatever best suits each senior. So we've like to focus on residential assisted living.
For sure. Is it something like up to 14 beds or unit, something like that number? I have heard 10 and 14.
Yes, every state has a maximum number that you're allowed to have. And then even within the state, a county or a city might give you a different number. But all across the country, I've seen between 6 and 16. So I've never seen more than 16. And then it turns into commercial from what I've seen. But 16 to 6 is pretty much where we're in that residential licensing.
Hi. You are listening to Syndication Made Easy podcast. We will be right back after this short break.
Hi, thank you so much. This is Vinney Chopra, and thank you for subscribing to my podcast and YouTube channel and Facebook pages and all the great things, and LinkedIn. Connect with me. I come live to you every Friday at 9 Pacific with Vinney and Bo Show. Please also look at that. And also the podcast, which is my Apartment Syndication Made Easy. The book I wrote a couple of years back became international top seller on Amazon International now. And then we like to bring great guests for you every week or twice a week sometime to give you a lot of great knowledge. So please subscribe. You give us 5-star reviews on the iTunes. The better the guests we can bring, and our ranking will go higher also. Thanks again for following us and really getting the most out of it. Please comment, like, share, because we would love to bring better and better material for you. Beautiful. So kind of share with the audience. This is amazing because I know I've been preaching, multifamily assisted living, and which we built from ground ups and all, but a lot of conversions come on the way. So how do people go about finding these conducive residential if you could take us there, and in what states are they prominent, or they are in every state, or
Great question. We have students in all 50 states that have these homes. So they exist everywhere. There's about 30,000 of them across our country today. It's just they don't have a big sign that displays what they are. It's a regular home. So you might not even notice there could be one in your neighborhood, right? And you don't know because it's just a regular home. The different ways that you could get involved or start doing this. I know you have done massive builds, right? Buying land and building from the ground up. And that is a way that you can do residential assisted living as well. In some parts of the country, land is still available. So buying land and building a custom home from the ground up is one way. You could also buy a single family home and convert it to become, maybe you're chopping it up differently or doing an addition, all sorts of ways to make that work.
Totally.
Third, you could buy an existing one, buy the real estate, buy the business, you're up and running, cash flowing right away. Or fourth, you could lease a home to use for this. So you could work with someone who's going to be the landlord and you're basically the tenant and you're going to operate the business within their home. So those are kind of the four ways that you could, build or get involved.
Marvelous. How about, I know something we use in our studies because we're building for millions of dollars, this structure, which will be coming online, I call it, in about 2 years. So we need to make sure that the demand is there, right? We call it capture rate study. So are there some things that a residential, senior living owner or investor would also look at, and where should they go to get those, their data?
Great question. We call it an internal feasibility study, but very similar. It's basically just determining where the seniors are, where there's going to be a growing need, and then how many beds exist already, so we can see where the massive needs are, right? I always say, raise your hand if you're getting older and know someone who is, right? We're all getting older. There's seniors everywhere. You don't have to go to Florida or Arizona to do this. You can do it anywhere you want, because if someone grew up in Charleston, South Carolina, they're probably not going to move to Florida just because they turned 85.
Totally.
They'll stay where they grew up, and that's what they know, and that's where they want to age. So these homes are needed everywhere, but doing those internal feasibility studies to determine where you should locate your home are so, so important. We always focus on the demographics. You have to have the proper demographics or it just won't work. It could be the best home in the world, but if it's not in the right place based on the demographics, I won't even look at it. So that is absolutely key. You're totally correct there.
Sure. Demographics. And you're so right, because I think 30 miles, 25 to 30 miles, if the children are living, grandchildren, what we found is that the seniors want to live there, and they want, on the birthdays and special occasions, they want family to visit.
100%. Yep.
Yeah,
they want to be near the adult children. So when we say demographics, we're not looking for the 85-year-olds. We're looking for the 50 to 70-year-olds.
Yes.
And that's the demographics. Yep.
Totally. How about I know it's something we also look forward to look at the net worth, and to make sure, because we want to make sure that they have the means to pay that $4,000 or something. We start at $3,800 in Cape Coral and in Punta Gorda and other places in Florida, because our construction cost is low, by the way. We can build everything in 17 million.
Wow.
Everything. Wow. I mean, and it's A++ facility with dining halls, because we have done it over 30 times. So we don't have too much planning cost or whatever you say, or architectural cost. Then we have very big means of getting the contractors, subcontractors at the right price, because they've done it for us so many times.
That's great.
Yeah. But no, you're right. So capture rate study, competition, that's the other one was coming in my mind. So do you suggest the investors to go physically visit other places in that neighborhood, right?
Yeah, we definitely do, because someone can tell you on the phone that their rate is $4,000, but when you go see the home, you'll see what that $4,000 means or what it gets you. And if you're just taking their word on the phone, you might think, oh my gosh, everyone's charging $4,000. I'm never going to be able to get more. But if your home is significantly nicer or has more amenities or whatever, you will be able to get more. So you have to get your eyes on it. And also, to me, there's really no such thing as competition in this industry because there's such massive need. So we should all be friends in this industry and trying to help one another because there's so many seniors who truly need better care. And there's a lot of places that give really bad care. And so I have to make sure that every senior has the best of the best. So the best thing I can do is go out when I'm starting a home and meet everybody else around and say, hey, I'm going to be a new owner in the area. When I'm full, I want to be able to recommend people to you. And when you're full, hopefully you're, want to recommend people to me. And let's have that kind of a relationship where we're helping one another instead of being, in competition.
I love it. I love it. What you just said, two things really stuck out to me. My partner started about 10, 11 years back into this one, and he was supplying to residential assisted living some medical supplies. And he was finding that the conditions were not that good. And the food the seniors were getting was also not up to par. He just was crying. I remember him telling me that, when we started this business, he says, I just thought I will not send my mom there. So I want to build some really good facilities. So that's one thing. You're totally right. The other part is that, facilities have to really give that care because these are the golden years. Golden years, like we say, let's spoil the seniors who have spoiled us. That's our tagline. Hampton Manor is our brand. So that's what we do.
I love that. And it's so true. We have to, give them the best of the best care. They've given so much to us. And, unfortunately, a lot of people can't quit their job and take care of their loved one full time these days. I know for me, it's not even a, can I quit my job thing? It's, I'm not cut out to be a caregiver, and I wouldn't be giving the best of the best care to my senior loved one. If I was the one doing it, the best thing I can do is get them with the best people, right, who are licensed, who love this, who want to be there with them and go visit and love on them as much as possible, of course. But it's a really great alternative. And it's just so necessary because, as you know, the supply and demand is just so off. And the baby boomers aren't even here yet, right? The silver tsunami hasn't hit the shore.
No, it has not.
There's so much need and so much need to come that really we can't build these things fast enough.
That's so true. I'm so glad you said it. I have graphs after graphs that I show to my investors also. There is such a big shortage for 30 years. If everybody got on the bandwagon, still we will have shortage.
Exactly.
Isabel, that's the other point. I just opened Punta Gorda, Florida. I had 70 seniors who were ready to move in. They gave us $5,000 deposit and waited for 6 months. Some of them waited for 6 months, 5 months, 3 months, 4 months. We were having, I know how it is when you build brand new inspections after inspections after inspections. So that way it was just so true. I mean, I saw it with my own eyes that we moved 45 residents in first month because you cannot move everybody right away. Slowly. Their furniture moved before and so on. And then what you're saying, we are proving it. We are seeing it with our own eyes. Such a big shortage is there.
Completely. I heard there's a statistic out there that says we're currently 1.3 million beds short. Wow. I don't know if you've heard that, but with the silent generation, I think there's only 47 million of them. And then the baby boomers, there's 76 million. So we're almost going to double the amount of people and we're still so short. It's just supply and demand at the end of the day. This is something that's really, if someone handed us a crystal ball in 2008, a lot of people would have played differently, right?
Yeah, I know, for sure, for sure. Isabel, actually, there is a chart in my presentation where 2008 and 9,
Yeah.
it didn't affect the senior living at all.
Nope.
No, apartments went down, even like 14% down. And of course, office and all and hotels, everything went down. But assisted living or senior housing didn't take a big dip at all. So true, so true.
It is. So it's just, the world needs this. And so the more people, no matter how you want to get involved, I tell everyone, it doesn't matter what you want to do. If you want to do long-term care insurance, commercial facility syndications for that, you want to do a caregiving agency, whatever it is, just think about all of the needs that the seniors are going to be having and choose what is best for you and go all in. And so obviously most of your listeners, I'm sure, are real estate investors and entrepreneurs. And so they probably want to do what you and I are doing, which is great. The more the merrier, but no matter what, everyone should get involved because there's just such a big need.
Totally. And, again, I'm coming from the apartment side of it for 14 years. We're bought smaller apartments to almost 300 units, 400 unit apartments. But the big thing, you're right, is that the rent from the unit, it's $1,300, $1,500. But as you convert them into senior living, you're getting $4,000.
Yeah,
I know there are more expenses, but still the returns on a senior living multifamily or residential is way more than single family home kind of structure. You're right. Yes.
Absolutely. And the cost of care is just going to keep going up and up too.
Yeah.
It's gone up. I think it's 79% over the last 10 years. And it's projected to just increase like crazy. And there's a website, I don't know if you've been to genworth.com/cost of care.
Okay. Wow.
When you go there, it tells you type in your, area where you live and it says the average rates.
Wow.
But the cool thing about it is there's a little toggle button. So you can say, how much will it cost in 20 years, 30 years, 50 years?
Wow.
And it's like, oh my gosh, it's like scary. Everyone's like, we need to start preparing now.
Oh my gosh. What was that site?
Genworth, GenWorth.com/cost of care.
Oh, I love it. Okay. Yeah. Wow. I hope everybody watching us or listening to us, please do go there because, we want to keep in mind where population is going and everything and your mom and dad who need care. This is the show for you. Please share this show with other people also. This might really be very meaningful. But let's get into some more things. Now, how about regulations? I was thinking, let's talk about, I know assisted senior living and memory care, where I am in and my partner, we are state oriented.
Yeah.
The one which are really federally rules and regulations are the rehab centers, nursing homes, and so on. So in your residential, is that like independent living or assisted living and memory care? What do you think? Yeah.
It's still assisted living and memory care, and we are also licensed through the state. So every state has their own variation on the rules.
Sure.
I will say most states are pretty much the same, but there's always a couple nuances that each state likes to throw in there. But we are regulated through the state, and you can be licensed for either assisted living or assisted living and memory care as well.
Beautiful. So if I can dig into a little bit more on your side with the residential, what's the minimum? Again, maybe it depends on the location also, right? For people to get that 6-bedroom home, let's assume, and then renovations. So what will they need to change? I know the bathrooms have to be bigger, the doors. Can you kind of throw light on that? Yeah.
Yes. So renovations within the home, like we talked about earlier, most seniors want private bedrooms and private bathrooms. So as many of those as you can have is definitely the best. You're also going to need to add ramps and guardrails, handrails, smooth, clean floors. So I don't want wood to tile the carpet. It's like one floor throughout. That's usually something that doesn't soak up liquids like a tile or a luxury vinyl and LV. Those are much better, but wide hallways and doorways are always good. The interesting thing with residential assisted living is we don't have to be ADA compliant, but you want to be as close to that as possible. So a lot of our students will build, ADA compliant sinks that have that space so you can roll in a wheelchair, and they'll add different components to the house that make it really senior safe and just comfortable, because the more of those different amenities and things that you do within the home, the more safe it is for them. So your liability is going down because your trip hazard and fall hazard is a lot less when it's custom built for them.
Love it. Love it. Love it. If I may also kind of take you to the other side, let's go to the decision makers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who chooses assisted living are the children.
Yes.
So kind of share some ideas on that. What have you found? I mean, what's their tending? Because more and more people are, I think world is changing. World is changing with the internet and everything. The needs are changing. Of course, meeting, through Zooms and others, all that. How is that affecting residential assisted living?
It's really interesting because when you're marketing your home, a lot of people just automatically think they're marketing to the senior, when the reality is they're not usually the one who's looking for the home. We call it daughter Judy, right? The adult child who takes care of mom or dad, or son Bob, right? Yes. Son Bob and daughter Judy. So they're the ones who you want to market to. You want to make sure that you're getting in front of them, making them feel really confident and comfortable about putting their loved one in your home, because they might not know the level of care that the senior actually needs, right? They may say, mom is sweet as pie, and mom moves in and she's not, and that's okay. But we need to make sure that we over communicate with daughter Judy so that she feels really confident and comfortable, and that she knows, hey, this is what we can do, and set realistic expectations for her so that she knows what she's getting in your home or in your facility. But definitely daughter Judy is a huge part of assisted living. She's the one looking for the home, a lot of times paying for the home.
Yes.
Many times she's the one complaining or praising you. So we want to make sure we're keeping daughter Judy really happy.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I know in our, the ones with Hampton Manor, we of course have Facebook page. We put lots of pictures and lots of activities, and we suggest to our executive director. Of course, in our case, we have executive director, business director, we have exercise director, then we have the chef, deputy chef, and then I'm missing one. Leasing director, right? So all these plus caregivers. Yeah. And the maintenance, we don't have too much hard time because we build them brand new. So they are all just, not too much different maintenance. But I want to ask you, let's talk about who pays for, I know we have seen a spectrum. Like maybe the family, the children might pay 30% or 35%. A portion might come from their, nest egg or or reverse mortgage on the home, things like that. What have you found? Yeah.
We find that a lot of people pay with long-term care insurance, which is amazing if they have it. I think only 10% of the population even has it.
Yeah.
But if they do, that's an excellent way to pay for it. We also see some people who get VA benefits, right? Aid and attendance. Occasional Medicare, Medicaid will help supplement some of the payment, but often it is the seniors' cash, their IRA, their investment, their savings, or their physical homes that they sell and then use that capital to pay for it. Of course, there is a good chunk of people who just put it in their kids' hands and say, I'm going to let my kids take care of it, which I always, tell people, if you haven't had this conversation with your, loved ones, you probably should, because they might be relying on you and you might not even know. Yeah. And you want to make sure that that you're prepared, because I think most seniors stay in the home for an average of 3.5 years.
You're right.
So
Yes.
that's a long time. That's a lot of money if you're not aware that you're going to be footing that bill, right?
So true, so true. Isabel, you hit the nail on the head. In our criteria of the 30 plus we have built, we take a proof of funds kind of due diligence, because we don't want seniors to just come in and have a hardship and then they have to move out and so on. So we do ask the family and the seniors to show 3 years of the rent. Exactly, And of course, they have to do the due diligence on their whole, medical due diligence, we call it, because we want to make sure we are the right facility for them.
Correct. You have to be able to care for them in the way that they need.
They need it. Exactly. Wow. Hey, guys, if you really like these nuggets, again, please share. And we try to come every week to you with great guests like Isabelle. Isabelle, how can people reach you? Yeah,
we have
adding so much today. Really, I appreciate that.
I'm happy to be here. It's always a blast talking to you. Residentialassistedlivingacademy.com is our the best website to go to. There's a bunch of free books, webinars. You can schedule a call with me or my team at ral101.com as well. So that's a great free place to get started.
Oh my gosh, I would love that, after the show. If you could give me the links also, my team will put it right underneath. And again, thank you. I want to really thank you for bottom of my heart for coming on the show. It's such a pleasure. And what you are, taking the legacy ahead of Jean, it's so great to see the whole family, involved. And like I said, my daughter, hopefully she'll carry the legacy also, No, God bless you. And it's such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Thank you again, for joining Vinney Chopra this week on this podcast. And please subscribe, share, give comments, and give 5-star rating if you can on iTunes, because that really helps a lot for us to bring great guests. And also iTunes raises our rankings up. And I hope you have been very happy with Vinney Chopra and team who are able to bring great information. If you would like to invest with us, please go ahead and go to vinneychopra.com/invest. Thanks again. God bless you.